the players are coming to the tables. The one table, Patrick Franziska representing Germany, fresh to the team. He's a young guy, 21 years old, world rank number 37, but been playing very well lately, above his world ranking, playing against Kenta Matsudaira. These two have never faced before. Kenta Matsudaira, also very young. He's 23 years old and his world ranking is 17. So Japan is the favorite in this match. We're going to take a moment during this warm-up to address some questions that came in to our Twitter account. So, Bryn Lindsay, friend from New Zealand, writes, Adam, why do you think Ovtcharov isn't using the tomahawk serve yet? We never saw the tomahawk serve, not once. And I think the reasoning for that is, it's a one-dimensional serve right now. If you know what's on it, you know it's heavy underspin. And that's, I'd say 9 times out of 10, it's heavy underspin. So, I guess what Ovtcharov wanted to do was keep his opponent guessing. And he knows that Mizutani's seen that serve, so I think it's the element of surprise. Gavin, any thoughts on that?
Big fancy serves are fine until someone starts to read them. If someone can actually touch short one of the fancy serves, then it actually gives yourself, the server, more problems. There's more spin in the short game. And possibly that's what Ovtcharov was thinking about there.
And another question from Bryn Lindsay from New Zealand. Who do you think has the upper hand at the moment, June or Dima? I'm going to go with June at the moment. June definitely has the upper hand at the moment. Sorry I didn't get to that question earlier. Busy with an exciting match. There was a question earlier about the quarters and the team matchup. Let me find it here. All right. _Bolzer says, what bothers me is why is it that the teams facing each other in the groups did again in the quarterfinals? And as Gavin informed me, very interesting, it's basically a blind draw after the groups are played for who's going to play the 8 teams that have to fight to get into the top 8. And the reason for that is it prevents people from dumping matches if they know they're going to have to face a team from a country that might be dominant, some random country throughout the world that might happen to be significantly stronger than other countries. And I think that's a great thing for the sport because nothing is uglier than watching someone intentionally lose so they do not have to face the top seed. Really like that new rule. So unfortunately, sometimes you're going to see rematches that you might not be hoping for, but I think it's better than the alternative. And now for the third singles match, Franziska from Germany is going to be starting it off with the serve. Outstanding backhand, and that's his game. He likes it close to the table, right off the bounce. Great backhand play from Franziska to start off. Again, the ball placed a little bit to the elbow, but a nice reach going for the spin shot inside out there. Just missing. His serve is so tough to read. The contact very difficult to see. And right now, Matsudaira having some tricks of his own. Tough receive for Franziska.
And of course, it was Matsudaira that got off to a really slow start on day 1 and day 2 when he lost a couple of bad matches. One that sticks in my mind was when he was losing to Papageorgiou of Greece. So he'll be keen to get off to a quicker start here, Matsudaira, relaxing.
Look at that speed. The serve almost as fast as the follow-up backhand. Just amazing 1-2 combo. Not a bad receive from Matsudaira. You get a fast serve like that and you try to take the pace off it. It's going to be a very difficult ball to keep short. He did the right thing. And a side swiping over the table shot. The only other answer I can think of to a serve that fast is placement. And right here you see a lot of placement exercise by Matsudaira. Very clever, smart play. Looks like he's going to go to the forehand, and at the last second the wrist breaks, taking it to the opposite corner. Excellent touch, comes in with the open racket. Just chips it up, a little bit of side spin on it. Franziska pretty jarred by the side spin on that ball. And Matsudaira, both Both of these players have explosive power on the backhand side. Matsudaira from both sides is a little bit of a wild cannon at times. Not the most consistent, but has incredible power. And even when it appears that the point's over, he can be right back in it. Misreceived, very tricky serve by Franziska. Gets the topspin, watch the contact here. Just a little more on it than it looked like. Looked like it was a bit of a dead ball.
Difficult from the commentary box to see the point of contact there from the Franziska serve. And obviously with the forehand as well, super deceptive.
There's the backhand again. It's been about 50-50 right now, but it's still Franziska's greatest weapon. Nice placement out wide to the forehand. He saw Matsudaira starting to set over, sneak over a little bit and set up on the other corner. Very clever play. And the soft hands keeping it nice and short, forcing Matsudaira to save the second bounce and get it over the table. Last second decision, not much he can do there.
When someone does put in a fancier serve and someone gets it back, you can see there the problems that causes.
Love this serve. And apparently so does Franziska. Right into the wheelhouse. Matsudaira's got this great serve with the high toss. You can't tell if he's going to hit it with the back or the forehand side of the paddle until the moment he hits it. Toss looks exactly the same for both forehand and backhand. If there's any difference, I just haven't noticed it, Gavin. Keeping the hand dry, wiping the sweat on the table. Matsudaira trying to take the short serve right off the bounce, but giving it a bit of a long push considering.
I don't know why he's still going into that backhand half. I'd be looking to try and tuck short middle, short forehand, and start the rally that way.
I think he heard you, Gavin. If anyone's looking for a coach, Gavin Rumgay for hire. So far, you have been on point. Pretty much everything you've said has worked so far from the beginning of your commentary. Tied up at 7-all. Nice adjustment by Matsudaira, challenging the forehand in the middle. Forcing Franziska to prove that he has other weapons, that he's up to the task on both sides, from footwork to two wings. Nice length on that serve, just barely coming off the table. Tough to read, almost looked like all side spin, but he gets just under the ball. And he doesn't follow through at all. He stops right at the point of contact, which is such an unusual motion on a serve. Very, very unique serve. And that time he goes deep to the backhand again. Hasn't been so successful. We thought he was onto something good following your advice, Gavin.
Sometimes this is when you do need an early timeout. Maybe his coach has seen that. An early timeout and go over and scream in his ear.
And we've seen a few real early timeouts in this tournament. A few first gamers, many in the second. Again, keeping it on the backhand side. Got a good opportunity to change it up. So many people are so dominant on their forehand, just more powerful there, that sometimes you have to like undo all the wiring from previous history. It's natural to keep it on the backhand to keep someone out of the point, but right now his backhand's the new forehand for Franziska. Excellent footwork, spinning it up from very low near the table. Great last second reaction from Matsudaira. You can see him having to turn just to contact that ball right near the table, legs underneath. Nippon, Nippon. It's Japanese for Japan.
Franziska quite similar to Timo Boll, the way he doesn't really rotate from the waist. Can be caught a little bit square on the forehand.
Nice serve to the middle. Smart placement by Matsudaira, and the backhand of Franziska forced to step in and around. Right idea, just missing the wide forehand on the table. He knew he had it. Something funny happened there. Not sure if he was thinking to counterattack it, but Mazudaira from off the table, often far more threatening, not really able to keep the point going, and Franziska deuces it up in game one. Very unusual start to that point, Gavin. Played short to the forehand side of the table, but left open the wide forehand. The whole court open here. Risky shot. Franziska up for the task. Looked like he clipped the top of the net a little bit. And now it's a game point for Franziska. That pendulum serve that's so tough to read. Very unusual finish. Quick escape for Franziska as he takes it 12-10 to go up 1-0 versus Mazudaira. And we're back in game two as Germany's own Patrick Franziska is up 1-0 in game. Solid start for the underdog according to world ranking. Kenta Mazudaira had a good look at game point, and the tables had turned. He's going to start us off with the serve for game two. That's a fortunate break. The long serve into the backhand did not look like a steady plan to start the point. He was on the run, off the table with the forehand. Fortunately, good enough forehand from deep, lots of spin, and he wins the point. Very low ball for such a spinny shot off the side of the table. Very difficult to keep low when you're down there. But he set Franziska up with nothing but a really tough forehand ball. Takes the first two serves, and now it's Franziska's responsibility to come right back.
That's not a backhand from there. You can see that it was actually at the right-hand side of the white line in the middle. Got to take that on with the forehand. Much more comfortable shot from there.
And that ball barely came off the table. Franziska wanted to get it a little bit earlier. That ball was just dropping near the back of the table when he got to it. It's a tough ball, and Mazudaira with a nice lead. Did you see the way he tucked back on that backhand? Closed the racket before he hits it and just unloads with the wrist. Lots of spin. And an early start, he's up 5-0